Hi, friends. Several months ago, before the pandemic, when we were still meeting in person, I asked you all to write affirmations to your inner children on little wooden hearts. The results were amazing. I actually got a little teary in my office the Monday after that service as I read all of your affirmations and linked them together. We had 90 responses. 8 were the exact phrase, "You are loved," and the word love came up 32 times. Love was the resounding theme of the entire project, even in the messages that didn't explicitly use the word. Now, the plan was to link those hearts together to place in our new RE classroom, which was supposed to be finished and dedicated in April. But we all know what happened in March, right? Sometimes things go off track in ways we never could have expected, and it happens to all of us. The inner children we wrote those affirmations to would probably be amazed by the adults that we are now. And they probably didn't have any concept of what would transpire in our lives, for better or for worse. So we spent some time sending love and affirmations to our inner children. And now I wonder if maybe they have any wisdom to share with us. I know that every single week I get to see that children have incredible wisdom to share. What do you think your inner child would say to you now? Take a moment to connect with them, and feel free to share in the chat if you're willing and able. My inner child would probably think it's very cool that I grew up to be a writer and that I have a nose ring and tattoos and purple hair sometimes. They would probably say I don't spend enough time playing and I drink too much coffee and not enough milkshakes. In her poem, The Summer Day, American poet Mary Oliver says, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" I invite you to take a moment to turn towards your inner child and ask them what they would have you do with your one wild and precious life. What was your dream job or experience as a child? If you could do anything, unburdened by reality or expectations or finances, what would you do? How is that showing up for you right now? Feel free to share your reflections in the chat if you'd like to. And last week, I asked some of our kids what their dream jobs are, what they would choose to do if they could do anything. And their responses were just as brilliant and creative as they are. Max wants to be a bird, and Jude wants to be an ice cream scientist. Hector wants to invent a device that can translate animal sounds into human speech. Charlotte wants to be a naturalist, and Emily wants to be an astronaut. Haya wants to be a fairy, and Henry wants to be a helper. Finn wants to be a mechanical engineer, and Callum wants to be a police officer. Alan wants to be an inventor, and Thomas wants to be a magician. Isla wants to be a commercial airline pilot, and Kenny wants to be a park ranger. We tell our kids that they can be anything, that they can do anything that they set their minds to. We tell them it might not be easy and it might not turn out the way we thought it would, but when we set our minds and intentions on something, we can make it happen. So, powered by those affirmations that we needed to hear when we were younger, and the uninhibited imagination of our inner children, tell me, what do you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Even when things go awry, even when they don't turn out the ways we thought they would. How are our deepest passions, purest desires, and most essential selves showing up in our lives now?